Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now and you're new to my channel, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness, sharing my life stories with Asperger's syndrome, OCD and the like, along with tips and advice along the way to give you in the way of hopefully helping you to manage and cope with your everyday general health versus your mental health. Hopefully, in some of it based on my life experiences, as well as just based on my training through what I give you in the form of tips and advice. Even if some of this may not be for you, feel free to share it along with family and friends or whatnot, and just accept what I share based on my life experiences, because I know there is someone out there that really needs to hear this. So this is basically going to be some of my beauty from ashes topics right now, especially and this one's all about love tanks, the types of love tanks, what they are, and the stages they go through in the love tank. There are 10 love tank types, so to speak, and hopefully we'll learn something along the way. And hopefully you're enjoying these videos. Before I continue, smash the like button to show your engagement and support, and that you are liking the content, because I'm just trying to figure out, what will be best of value for you guys, regardless of, everybody's differences of what they want. But, feel free to comment below also, just to let me know. So let's begin this. As we know, basically, maybe questioning what is a love tank. So I'll quickly explain this to you all, obviously. Like, love tanks are a visual aid that was developed by a person by the name of John Gray to help us see the basic love needs that we need in our everyday life, regardless what it may be. These are the places where our desires obviously come from. As I said before, there are 10 different levels of love tank, or different types, and sometimes they may call it love needs as well. No one's love tanks are usually perfectly full all the time, however, and it may vary from person to person, differentiation of age. Obviously, to the degree that the earlier love tanks are filled, the person will experience greater success. Of course, there are plenty of examples of heartless people who have achieved power and financial successes, but they have no joy in their lives as well as peace. I'm not trying to show bitter or hate, this is how I've seen it. They may also think that they enjoy getting the better of others, but it is so shallow and deep, as well as empty compared to the fullness of joy that they could be feeling. To the degree that the love tanks are empty, the person may also experience some more so dysfunction and dissatisfaction, and have greater difficulty in recovering from these failures. Everyone once in their life will experience failure, however, regardless where it may be in our lives. We've failed someone at work, we've failed something in a way of how we go about in our relationship or whatever. But the person whose love tanks are more full learns from the experiences that they've failed from and will grow stronger and wiser, while that person whose love tanks are empty feels defeated and powerless, or quite the opposite. Filling theirs on one way we can fill our love tanks. Filling up our love tanks connects us to our own true selves, which are confident, joyful, loving and peaceful. We often don't feel the emptiness of the love tank until the next one develops, however. These are only general guidelines, however, so don't be too good at interpreting them. These are just exceptions to every rule, generally speaking or figuratively speaking. Just to give you a clear example. The first love tank, which is developed between conception and birth, is our spiritual love tank. Even an atheist, however, or anyone for that matter, has this form of love tank. It's most often satisfied by connection with a form of God, at least with Christians, however, but it is then filled by different spiritual beliefs of whatever it may be it atheists, monks, whatever. This can be filled for an atheist or agnostic, as well as many others, by meditation, which is also spiritual but not religious. They may experience it as connecting with their inner nature or their inner being. Without this love, life tends to be a struggle, and we go through life tired and so stressed out. The second love tank is the parental love tank, which is the love and support from our parents, which is developed between birth and 7 years old. The whole attitude, or our whole attitude about the woman in a relationship, begins at birth. Children are basically powerless to get what they need, and when they first emerge from the womb, if children are not taken care of, they will die, depending on the love that was received. A child forms one of two basic attitudes: I have needs and I have the power to get them met, or the opposite: I have needs and I am powerless to get them met. To the degree that this tank has been filled, we move through life either feeling powerful or powerless. If the child gets just enough love to survive, then they will go through life struggling to survive. If the child gets enough love to thrive, then he will go through life moving from one success to another. These are two extremities and maybe many possibilities in between those. The third love tank is friends, family, and fun. It develops between the ages of 7 to 14 years of age. This is a time where the desire to have fun awakens and really hypes us up in a way of where we want to be. If, however, we didn't get what we needed in the first 7 years of our life, we will tend to resist it and continue to need to have our first love tank filled. If during our first 14 years we didn't feel safe to resist the changes in life and work through the range of feelings, as we get older, we will be more resistant to change, rather than recognizing it's a necessary part of life. We don't form a clear sense of who and what we are like. Without this knowledge, it's very difficult for in life or to enjoy life. Number 4 love tank is basically peer support, the opposite of peer pressure. Peer support comes from a loving energy source, while peer pressure comes from a fearful energy. This develops between the ages of 14 to 21 years of age. This is the support we give each other when we have similar interests or problems. The workplace, sports, hobbies, and support groups are all clear examples that we can take into consideration where we most commonly find these support from our peers. Friends often give peer support through more frequently than the people we get peer support from are not necessarily our friends, however, it could be anyone in our life. Anytime you have something in common with another person, there is an opportunity for peer support. But be careful though, this kind of love can feel so good when someone is good at giving this kind of support that they may be lulled into a false sense of security. If, for instance, you have worries at the workplace and the co-worker eases your fears and you are comforted by that, and it turns out your fears were well-founded, easing your fears might not be in your best interest. In this case, however, recognizing your fears are really being very real and coming up with strategies to address them in a manner that would work better for you could save your job, also in the long run. Number 5 of the love tank is self-love. It doubles between the ages of 21 and 28. This is the time we find ourselves assuming the earlier love tanks are almost full, or mostly full. This is the time we most see clearly in ourselves what we want to do in our lives. But then again, it will vary. To the degree that we have received love in the earlier love tanks, we will have greater clarity in knowing ourselves. To the degree that we are not loved, however, on the opposite scale, we have difficulty in knowing ourselves. Knowing yourself has little to do with intelligence and everything to do with love, just as love connects us to others. It is also necessary to connect us to ourselves. The 6th love tank is the romantic love. This will develop between the ages of 28 to about 35. You can have a sweetheart at an early age, but this is the time our hearts and minds are most open to it. This kind of love is well known in our society. Entire industries are devoted to this. When people talk about love, this is one the most frequently can imagine. In the past, people got married for survival, but now new relationship skills are needed. This is the one that is given the most credit for joy in our lives. The joy really comes from our partners. Love connecting us to our true selves, which is naturally joyful, confident, loving, and peaceful, and though most blames the misery. Yet often if the pain passes a certain intensity, this indicates our earlier love tanks ain't full and met. That's when we need the most love. It is often assumed that we didn't get what we needed from our parents, that we've just missed out and we need to move on. However, without this love, we will stay stuck in our lovable place. What's the solution? Find a therapy to give yourself this love. 7th love tank is the love for a dependent, like a child or a pet. This develops between the age of 35 and 42. This is for most people their first experience with unconditional love. To love a child or animal so much that loving them is just like loving ourselves. This is an amazing feeling. To the degree that we may have met our earlier love needs, we're more or less likely to give this kind of love to others. The better a job you do giving this kind of love to your child, the more you set them up for success, joys, confidence, and more in their lives. If your earlier love tanks aren't full, this will be a struggle for you. In this case, don't blame or guilt yourself for this, but rather find a way to fill your earlier love tank so you can give your child the love your heart wants to give them. Now, the 8th love tank is community. This develops between the ages of 42 and 49. This is where the horizons broaden, and we want to share our love with a growing number of people. The ninth love tank is the love of the world. This develops between the ages of 49 and 56. During this time period zone, our horizons may broaden to include the world, assuming the love tanks of the other ones clearly addressed are full. Last but not least, the love tank of the 10th love tank is our second spiritual love tank. This begins to develop at the age of 56 and continues to grow on for the rest of our lives. This is a place where we serve God or whatever upper being if you believe in something else. In a sense, the first spiritual love tank is God serving us. We don't have to do anything in the womb. We don't even have to breathe. This is the last love tank, is where we take our gifts from God and give it back to the world. This is only possible if the earlier love tanks are full. People who love tanks are full to live a long life and healthy life, full of joy and light and everything else in between. Well, this quickly ends basically the different types of love tanks, what they are, and what their role are. Give me a like for thumbs up and support. Comment below. Feel free to follow me on my social media sites listed below. Feel free to subscribe if you don't so. Feel free to turn on the notification bell so you can keep up to date with what Aspie's up to. So share these messages around to family and friends. No further ado, guys. Do what you love what you do. Until next time, thanks for the support, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.